All right, I don't know if you've ever seen a gymnast's arms, but they're fucking huge. I can't even lie to you. Like, that's insane. And they don't even train for muscle growth. They train for skills or for routines. And it got me thinking, how are they getting such insane muscle growth without even trying to go for it? And at first, I thought it was the pull skills. I thought it was whatever muscle ups they do. I thought it was, pull-ups, whatever they do on the bars. And then I realized, and after I saw a video, that it actually wasn't that. It was from a very specific set of skills that all put them in super disadvantaged positions. And the skills I'm talking about are the planche, the Maltese, and the arm cross. All the straight arm skills, right? And so when I first found this out, I was confused because I've been training planche for 2 years now. I've pretty much got it. And I never really felt my bicep very much before. I did in the beginning when I was first starting, but after probably 2 weeks, it stopped and I couldn't feel it again. I just always felt the shoulders. Whenever I felt sore, that's what I was feeling. Or the forearms or the wrists, right? I've gotten injured a few times. It's not very fun. Warm up, guys, if you can. Yeah, it was very interesting to me to find that these skills, which I've been training for, actually increase bicep muscle and strength. And so I decided to figure this out. I did a lot of research about, different positionings, different widths, and eventually I found that the grip was pretty much the main contributor of this. I've always, whenever I've done planche training, I've had my wrists forwards and out 45 degrees. I thought this was the normal grip, and it is. But what I never realized was that the more you turn your grip outwards, like that, the more your forearm and your bicep actually gets strained as well. And so when I did it like this, which I was used to now, I always just felt my shoulders. And the reason for this was because my shoulders and my wrist was used instead of my forearms and my biceps and my shoulders, right? The shoulders are always used, but it's just the muscles down here that are affected by the grip, in my experience. And so the first time I tried even turning it slightly more out, I could barely keep a straddle planche. When I was 90 degrees out, I was struggling to hold a good straddle for 1 to 2 seconds. And keep in mind, I could do a straddle probably 10 seconds on the floor with this grip. And so that tiny change made such a big difference. And I fell forward so unexpectedly that I was just wow. Wow, it makes a huge difference. If you've never tried training like this before, I recommend it because it's this whole new world of planche. After I felt that, I immediately got super motivated to train, and I even made newbie gains in the first 2 weeks. I felt myself getting stronger because it was just this thing that I've never felt before, and I never felt sore in my bicep before like that. And I'd been training in the gym consistently for 1.5 years at that point. I never felt something like that. It was this bicep and elbow sensation that was super weird and cool, I guess. And yeah, so I definitely recommend it if you're training planche and you're either using parallettes like this. I'd say turn them out as much as you can, just to feel it. Or if you're on the floor, turn them out as well. All right, and this doesn't only apply to planche, right? I think a big reason gymnasts have big arms is from the Maltese, which you don't even need to do anything for the grip for. It's just your arms are automatically at a disadvantaged position at this point that you can't help but feel your biceps. But I'm not strong enough yet for the Maltese. So what I'd recommend if you're weak like I am, to do Maltese leans sometime in the middle to the end of your workout. The reason I say at that point and not in the beginning is because it puts your arms in such a disadvantaged position because they're so wide that I think it's a lot easier to get injured. And so you have to be warm enough to where you won't get injured, or you have a way less chance of getting injured. So when I started like figuring that out, I did multis, leans, mostly at the end of my workout, almost as a cool down, because I didn't want to waste my energy on them in the middle of the workout. Because right now I'm training full planche, and I can do it for probably 3 to 5 seconds right now. But if I'm training this as well, the multis lean, I don't think I'd be able to get as many good reps as I do right now, because all my arm energy would be used up for the lean. So for now, until I get stronger, I'm gonna be doing them at the end, which I'd recommend for you too. Obviously, I don't know what level you're at, but if you're like me, then yeah, at the end is good. If you can't do any planche variation yet, if you can't do a tuck planche even, then the planche lean is actually a really good starter for this, right? Instead of having a grip like this, turn it outwards, lean forward, and there's your planche and bicep exercise, right? It's actually super intense. The more you lean forward, it makes a big difference. Because again, these moves put you in such a bad position that you're used to, and such a different one that it's like this whole new thing. And obviously there's another side to calisthenics, right? The pulling ones. Doing pull-ups is obviously super important. I'd say my goal when I first started doing them was to get to 15 pull-ups and then get to a muscle up after that. And that's basically what kept me going. That big goal of the muscle up was what pushed me to do so many pull-ups. And eventually I got the muscle up. And so now I'm just training for explosivity in the muscle up. I'm trying to get a cleaner muscle up, you know, less kip. But those two skills are also extremely important for the biceps. I don't know if you've seen Ian Barsegal before, but he's this guy who's like huge, his arms are massive, and all he did was pull-ups and dips in order to achieve that. And I think that's really amazing. I think that's another way to get insane biceps. And it just shows that even with the basics, even with just pull-ups, muscle-ups, all that, you can get really good results for muscle, and that's super cool to see. So yeah, that's really it. If you're having trouble getting started, or if it all seems a bit too like scary, I'd say, then I'd recommend watching that video that I just made a few days ago, because I think I go a lot more in depth into the actual journey of it all. So thanks for watching. If you want some cool clothing, head to the link in the description. And yeah, that's it.